Welcome to Message for Today. As we look at the world around us, everywhere we look, we find violence and rioting, destruction of property. As I understand it, it all falls under one level issue of racism in some form or shape. As a Christian, I began to think, what is my response to racism? How should I react? So I began looking at the Bible, trying to find some answers that Christ would give us. My mind and my eyes fall on Luke, the 10th chapter, verses 25 through 37. In there, we find a story of a rich young ruler, a lawyer, coming to speak to Jesus and to test him. And he asked Jesus a simple question. Master, what must I do to be saved, to inherit eternal life? Christ's answer to him was in a form of a question because he knew he was trying to be tricked. He said, what does the law say? What does the scriptures say? The lawyer answered this way. He said, it says, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, with all your mind, and your neighbors as yourself. Jesus said, you have answered rightly. Do this and you will live. The lawyer wasn't quite satisfied, so he asked the question, who is my neighbor? And that is the essential question that you and I need to ask ourselves today. Who is our neighbor? Christ, instead of answering it directly, gave a story of the Good Samaritan. A traveler going on the road is beaten and robbed of all of his goods, left to die on the road. Shortly after, a priest comes by. The priest doesn't even look at this fallen traveler, but goes on his way. Next, a Levite comes by. The Levite does a little rubbernecking. He looks, he pauses, but he goes on his way. You see, the essential problem here for the priest and Levite was this. It was beneath their social status to help this fallen person. What would it look like? They would become unclean. A Good Samaritan comes next. Good Samaritan sees the fallen traveler, stops, gets off his donkey, binds his wounds, gives him water to drink, puts him on the donkey, takes him to the next city, cares for him, and pays for additional lodging and care for him until he's well enough to travel on his own. Jesus asked the question, who showed mercy to him? Obviously, it's the Samaritan that had compassion. So Jesus answered, go and do likewise. Friends, as I read the Bible and I study Jesus' response to people, he gave no preference to social status, economic status, ethnic background, or color. Everyone was his neighbor. As a Christian, as you being a Christian, that is our responsibility. It doesn't matter someone's race, someone's ethnic background, someone's social status in the community. Everybody is our neighbor, and Christ calls us to have compassion upon them when in need. I don't know about you, but I think the world would be a whole lot better place if we had some more compassion in our lives to each other, our neighbors. Thank you for joining us for God's message for today.